Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. In this episode we're unboxing the latest release from Orlandoo Hunter, the OH32V01 off-road van. This is the normal Orlandoo numbering system, OH for Orlandoo Hunter, 32 for 32nd scale, V is the series, in this case a new series of vans, and 01 because this is the first kit in that series. Now, I obviously missed a day at school because when I first saw this kit I had absolutely no idea what vehicle it was that they were modelling. In fact, I thought Orlandoo had possibly just made something up. After a quick bit of Googling I realised it's actually a Volvo L3314 military vehicle produced from the early 1950s through to the 1980s. It seems that Orlandoo have chosen to model this after a very specific individual truck as well. The wide arches, the lights on the front, that isn't standard, and this seems to be a very particular truck that has been turned into an Overlander expedition vehicle. There's an article online about it. It's got bigger than standard tyres. I think he's running a Land Rover diesel engine in it. So it's quite an unusual choice by Orlandoo not to just produce the stock vehicle and let people modify it themselves, but I can kind of see why they went with it. It does look cool. Anyway, that's enough history. There's a great Wikipedia page if you want to find out more, and there's an article online about this particular modified truck as well if you go looking. So let's crack on with the unboxing. And let's see what we've got on the back. So the overall length is 127mm, width is 64mm, height 72mm, track width is 55mm, and wheelbase is 66mm. So this is a tiny little thing. I think 66mm is shorter even than the A01 Jeep. And that track width suggests we've got narrow axles suspended on leaves. You can see the U-bolts underneath in the picture, so I'm quite excited to see what we've got here. It looks like some new parts, a narrower version perhaps of the military truck's axle that's 60mm wide, and if it is, then this is going to offer some nice options for custom builders. So let's get inside and see what we've got. Okay, so due to a small continuity error, the camera didn't record any of that, and I've had to put everything back in the box and start over. So unfortunately you're going to be watching this with the bags already opened. It gives me a chance to do a rerun, but I doubt the video is going to be any better for it. So let's try again. So stickers, new designer stickers, the ones that similar to what they use with the trophy truck, where you get this film over the top of the stickers which makes for a lower profile sticker. That's nice. New design OH symbol there. Etch parts. This looks like the jerry can holder, and some grills for the bonnet there, and some chassis hangers and U-bolt plates, I think probably those. So that's those. The manual, usual story with Orlandoo, nicely documented, all your parts laid out on the sprues, all your hardware numbers and things to refer back to, and then step by step. So straight away I can see here it's offering you the option open differential to go in the axles, which doesn't come in the kit, is a separate part to buy, and the same in the back, and MG2310 and 460 are the diffs for the 51mm A series axles, so the Defender, the Pajero and the Jeep. So this means we've got 50mm wide axles, but set up for leaf springing. So straight away my mind is going to custom builds and possibly a Land Rover Ford Control, something like that. That would be nice to do. It's going to be interesting to see the leafs as well. I believe they're significantly shorter than the ones that come in the military truck, so again some new parts for custom builders to play with. So you put your axles together, put your shocks together, your shafts, your links, steering links. I see. So the servo and motor all fit together in one assembly, and they're now offering the brushless motor. That's become an official product, and I believe they have a brushless speed controller coming out that's going to cut costs significantly for people. The controller we offer at the moment is kind of on the expensive side. Then there's a centre transfer box, so we've got a divorced motor set up, a bit like the military trucks, yeah. Front bumper, cross members, then bits and pieces being mounted to the chassis, and then the drive shafts go in, the axle, and the other axle and the other drive shaft. They're tiny little drive shafts. It's ever so stumpy, this thing. And there you can see the how it should look when you've done it. And we've got counter rotating prop shafts going to the axles as well, so that helps with torque twist. And then there's an under tray by the look of it. So we've got metal, I assume metal chassis rails, but then a floor pan that sits on top with inner arches. That's nice. They're showing you the new D301 receiver as well there. I'll be doing a separate video about that hopefully shortly. Some exhaust detail, that's nice. Yeah, and there's a cage going together for the jerry can. Body details, paint guidance, roof rack together, spare wheel on the back, that's nice. Wheels on, body on, job done. Great. So let's see what's in the box. We'll go through the bags in order this time. Last time I was all over the place, so you can see the bags have been opened, sorry about that. Axle parts in the A bag, so you've got lockouts for the rear, C-hubs and what have you for the fronts, and the axle ends, and then the casings themselves. You can see there's no pickups for links on here. They attach to the leafs with U-bolts, and then oops, the internals, excuse me. So crown gear and pinions, solid axle, steel axle. Crown gear goes on with a pin, and then the little O-ring goes over the pin to hold it in place. It's a foolproof design from Orlandoo, tried and tested. 3x6 bearings for the axle ends, and then these are new. These look like they're 2mm internal diameter and 4mm rather than 5mm external, and possibly slightly thinner as well. They might be 1.5mm wide. So there's obviously not a great deal of room inside these axles. They've had to reduce the bearing size. and then the CVDs and lockouts for the rear axle, stub axles rather. I'll put everything back in the bag so I don't get lost. And on to bag B. We have spring hangers on the sprue, leaf shackles, bits and pieces for the leaf mounting, drive shafts. Put them together yourself, they're easy enough to do, and more drive shafts. They really are quite short, these shafts, look at that. So possibly the 260 and the 220, something like that. Shocks, shock bodies at least, a few rod ends for the steering links, and then in here steering link rods, shock internals, so that pistons and springs, handful of ball ends, and then the leaves. And I can see these leaves are significantly shorter than the M series trucks, the military truck leaves. So that is that a lower link? Yeah. So we're looking at about 36mm eye to eye. I think the military truck ones are more like 50 something, 55 maybe. So great stuff. Be interesting to see how the shorter leaves actually work. The leaf stack on the military trucks can be made to work really nicely. They take a little bit of fiddling to get them set up just how you want, but yeah. So that's bag B. I'm guessing this is C. Yeah. Oh, and we've got a switch. So that's handy. Means you don't have to take the body on and off every time you stop. Transfer case, cross members. There's that funky motor mount there. Motor and servo mount. Some more of those 4mm bearings for the transfer case. Here are the chassis rails. U-section metal rails. They're diddy compared to the military truck. So again, nice useful parts for custom builders, although they are kind of short. Bumpers. No idea what these parts are here. They look like some sort of clip. Yeah, not sure what else is on that sprue. And then this looks like the floor pan, servo arms, and the floor pan, and the two plates that sit on top of the floor pan and allow you to slide the battery in the back, and this one sits over the motor and servo, so you can put electrics up the front, I assume. Gives you some options anyway. And then I don't know what those bits are there. Don't know where that switch goes either. Okay, so one more thing, the transfer gears and the shaft reducer for the motor. So that's bag C. D. Smoked windows. It's interesting that they've done separate windows in this. Usually you get a single piece that sort of slots up inside the shell. So that's going to be a little bit more fiddly than usual. nicely, and these look like body detail parts. So we've got the jerry can, wipers, exhaust, snorkel, grille for the front bonnet, mirrors, possibly the mirror, the mirror mounting parts there. So that's D2 rather, and D1 is the body itself. So here we go. So mirror inserts, chrome inserts for the mirrors, light lenses, and lovely little body. Very nice. So you've got a door on this side and a rear window and just a window on that side. Yeah, lovely. Nice and crisply moulded. The wheels are one of the more interesting bits I want to look at, but first of all we'll go into bag E, keep it in order. So this is the roof rack and the spotlights for the front. These parts are sold separately as well as a accessory for other vehicles. You get 6 light buckets and 6 lenses, and then the wheels, and you can see I've already been playing with these. So they are 15mm wheels, slightly more offset than you usually get with the Orlandoo stock wheels. Foams for the tyres that I never use because you don't really need them. The tyres, nice, wide, squidgy, slightly sticky, ever so soft. You can see it's not taking its time to go back to shape. Yeah, they're lovely. AT405 radial Orlandoo Hunter. This tread possibly going to get clogged up fairly quickly if you run outdoors, but they're a nice looking little tyre. And there we have one mounted on the wheel. You can see the wheel centre, the hub of the wheel is kind of centred. Usually the hub is out towards the front face, and the wheel slots further back onto the axle. So yeah, it's 50mm axles, but this is going to give it a little bit of additional width. So there we go, and finally, last but not least, I haven't opened these, handful of tools, wrench, Allen key and crappy screwdriver, and then all the hardware to build the kit. So there we have it, the Orlandoo Hunter OH32V01 off-road van. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe if you want to see more of this, and see you in the next video.